All right, here at No Reserve, we have our all original 1995 Ford Bronco. It's been a California truck its whole life until we bought it and shipped up here to Washington State just a few months ago. So it's California emissions. It's got the decal and everything. It's passed all its emissions inspections. All original factory Oxford white paint. Never had any paint work done. No accidents. None of the sheet metal's been adjusted. All the original bolts are nice and in the factory spots with no gnarling from any wrenches or sockets. It's got tan leather interiors, the Oxford white paint. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit here, so I'll try to get through it. But you can see the paint's really nice and shiny. There's no clear coat issues, but there has been, some paint lifting issues. California Sun did do a little bit of aging on this truck, but the trade-off for having, the nice original California body is in our favor here. But you'll see some fading in the headlights. All the lenses are a little bit faded. The cool thing about these trucks are you can get all these things brand new for really cheap on eBay or LMC truck. There's holes on the bumpers from, I think it was like a bull bar style brush guard, but all the chrome's in nice condition. The factory gray coves are a little faded and sun faded in there. You'll get little tiny peppering in the chrome from little stone chips throughout the years. This has got about 188,000 miles. Actually, I think it's got a little bit less than that. Let me got two white Broncos, so I don't want to get the two confused. So it's got 183,400. But I'll take you to the back here. You can see tail lights are a little bit faded. You have some paint lifting back here too. You have some of your loading scratches and chips, and that's probably what happened here. You got some chips and then they kind of grew. So you will want to be careful in this area, but the cool thing about the tailgate is if you want to do some paint work, the nicest thing about hoods, roofs, and tailgates is you don't have to worry about blending. You got this nice little line here, so you could just have the tailgate top area redone. But this is a 100% rust-free truck. You got a little ding, stuff like that. You will want to expect to look at stuff like that. Again, you have, the door sweep weather stripping is cracked on both doors, and then also in the back. The back has started to put some surface scratches in the window from going up and down. But the window felts here, you can get a set of 4, which is both outside passenger driver, both inside passenger driver, for about $40 to the door. So it's really affordable. The hood's in good condition. The hood bug guard was pulled a little tight, so we moved it out because it was rubbing on the corner here. On both sides you'll get some paint wear. The black around the mirror is faded. You get the same type of little tiny stone chips, but all the chrome still looks good. The rubbers around the actual windows themselves are in nice condition. The windshield doesn't have any cracks. It's been replaced at one point, but the black molding, I always like to see the black over the stainless look, is all still in nice shape. It's got the factory polished aluminum Alcoa wheels, some 31-inch BFG KOs. It's still got the valance down here, which is nice to see. People pull these off or they hook them on something instead of addressing it, fixing it. They often just rip them off. So I love to see all original stuff like this. The black and the emblem is still a little faded, and some of the rubbers, but the rubbers all look pretty good. But of course the center chrome, these things were just not designed to the best quality, so they fade real good, real easy. Rockers in nice shape. Absolutely no rust. Very minimal entry wear, which is amazing for being 23 years old now. It's hard to believe that's how old this truck is, but you will have some little tiny stone chips in the flat area from the tires come up, and if you look around, you will find some tiny little chips in the body here. Oh, that's just something in the paint there, so this stuff will come right off. I'll get it off, but you got some entry wear with some chips there. A couple little small chips on the door edges. You have some fading here, or that's a fading, but some chipping of the paint also here. Top's never been off. Rain gutter's got a little bit of, a little bit of wear in the paint, but no dents or anything on top. White's still in nice condition. Little ding right here. Again, a little scuff in the paint on the wheel well there, but you could put the factory style trim. This truck wasn't optioned with that. You can see there's no holes drilled in here, which I like because then you don't have any start for rust. But look at the wheel wells, how clean it is. The underside of the body, the belly pan is just amazing shape too. You can see it's never been repainted. You'll always have overspray and tape marks here, but nice clean condition. This is what you'll find a lot on the California ones over the regular ones, is you have Spanish writing too, which is cool. It's got aftermarket, you know, kind of Nerf bio style 2 bumper, but if that's not your taste, you know, just on bolts and you can throw a factory one on there. Go ahead and finish the outside. Got the rear tire carrier, of course. You know, the blacks are a little faded. They just use cheap paint from the factory. But the cool thing is you could just scuff them up and paint them with some Rust-Oleum or... But again, you just have a little chip here, you know, tiny little chips from the tires, but really a lot less, you know, less than you'd expect for 23 years old and having, you know, 183,000 miles. Little stress crack there. Again, those are aged. Chip right there. You know, little chipping on the bottom there. Again, you're gonna have some entry wear chipping. I'll show you when we do the inside. A little chip there. Again, some little chips after the tires. You know, you might find a couple of these little guys that I missed, but this is the, besides like the paint lifting shown here on the cowl and the tailgate and here on the passenger fender, the biggest chips you're gonna get is something like this, just your standard road wear, and that's something you see on a truck that's just a couple years old. A little larger chip there, but that's gonna be the biggest one. So go ahead and take you on the inside. Well, I'll wrap around here to the front so you can see the fender, but again, wear from the bug guard. You know, bug guards is, they'll protect you, but if you don't install them correctly, they do some rubbing. A little condensation in that corner. You know, lots of rubber left on the tires. There's actually no clear coat issue damage. You will have some marks from where the wheel weights have been moved throughout the years, but no, none of that white clear coat issue. It's got the automatic 4-wheel drive hubs, push button 4-wheel drive, so it's all seamless and real easy. Still got its factory rubber floor mats. You know, it's tan interior, 23 years old, so there is some discoloring on some of the carpet, but underneath the mats, I have pictures of that. Little hairline crack in the dash. Little wear here. You know, sometimes people put little rubber things up here for putting keys, wallets, cell phones, and they kind of rub on the dash. But other than that, the dash is really nice condition. Aftermarket Pioneer sound system. Door panel is really nice condition. Just a very little amount of stud fading at the top here, but no holes drilled, no screws missing, no cracks. Nice paint through here. There's a little bit of paint chip in there. And again, the early 90s and late 80s, Ford, Chevy, and Dodge had a hell of a time with the paints. Sometimes you'll see some old Dodges with it's just all primer. Again, yellow chip in there. Passenger side leather is in really nice condition. I mean, they obviously took care of this thing for being in California. It does have some wear and sun fading on both armrests, but again, very cool. You can get this stuff brand new. I mean, you could redo the leather interior. You'll find them on eBay. Seat springs forward nicely. A little hard to see the back seat, but it's a nice shape, and it folds all the way forward if you're not familiar with Broncos, and then you can actually just remove it if you take out those 2 bottom pins right there. It just pulls right out. It's got the captain style seats. Center console cup holders. A little bit of wearing around the stereo, maybe when they installed the stereo or from taking the faceplate on and off. It's an AC truck, of course. Factory tack dash. AC blows cold. Heater works phenomenal. Rear defroster. All the power windows. Both power door locks. I mean, everything works on this truck. Every light. We make sure every light works. You know, steering wheel does have a cover. You know, these leathers start getting a little loose and not looking so hot. A little bit of crack up here by the VIN number. It's really hard to see, but it's right there. It looks like the ones you can get off eBay are more factory. They have these little holes in them for breathing, but there's also some other companies that make them, or you can take it to a upholstery shop and they get them custom done. But the driver's side has been redone a long time ago. Looks a little bit different, doesn't have the holes, has a little mark right there. But again, this truck doesn't have any odors or anything. You know, you got the wear there. You know, partially from driving and partially from the sun. Again, this is going to be a California title truck. You know, a little bit of wear underneath. It's tan carpet. But again, it doesn't have the shifter on the floor, so if you wanted to replace the carpet, what it definitely doesn't need, you know, it's basically, if you want to place the entire carpet, sides and everything, I think it's about $300 a door, and it's really easy to do if you don't have to cut out the shifter. You basically just cut holes for the seat belts and away you go. but I really don't think it needs it. I mean, that's just kind of if you're searching for perfection. I mean, it's a really clean interior. You know, you're gonna have a tan interior truck that's just a couple years old. That's gonna have issues with the carpet if you're not running the floor mats all the time. So rear window goes down, both from the switch inside and the outside switch. Rear tire carrier locks nice. You know, no rust. They're really common for rusting down here, but I mean, you can just see no surface rust or nothing. And again, that comes in with, like, you know, Arizona trucks, California trucks. They just don't even, you know, get the condensation to get the surface rust. Where in Washington, we don't use any salt on roads, so we don't get the actual cancer rust like you get in the Midwest, in Detroit and stuff like that, in New Jersey. But we do get some, you know, it's a wet up here, so if you chip the paint, you'll get the surface rust. But this truck is completely free of that. Rear cargo areas are really nice. You might get a couple little scuffs. You know, no leaking from the top. But all presents really well. The carpet, you know, you have some discoloring and staining, but you know, that's just for hauling your goodies. Someone put a cool little charger back here for your cell phone if you want to hook up something when you're camping. Both straps are in good condition. You get no rusting down here. A lot of times you'll get bubbles, and you'll also get this missing too. So it's just cool. You know, it's really well cared for if you see this stuff still in place, because that stuff unfortunately does kind of disappear if you don't take care of the trucks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her fired up. I'll show you the rear window go up. And we're gonna go ahead, it's coming up to temperature. We're gonna go ahead and hop in, throw some fuel in it, and go ahead and go do a drive. So hopefully you guys can stick around for that.